sustained war that they claim will last several weeks, but I think it'll likely last longer than that. Now, let me give you the details according to Axios reporter and Israeli insider Barak Ravid. He says that a U.S. military operation in Iran would likely be a massive, weeks-long campaign that would look more like full-fledged war than last month's pinpoint operation in Venezuela, sources say. Now, Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff, unfortunately, are still very much involved in all of this. They met with Iran's foreign minister for 3 hours in Geneva on Tuesday, and it looks like that was a giant waste of time. Both sides said that the talks made progress, but the gaps are wide, and U.S. officials aren't optimistic about closing them. Well, they were never optimistic about closing any gaps. They never engaged in negotiations in good faith. They were just buying time. And so Peter Thiel's buckboy, J.D. Vance, says that Trump has kind of reached his limit with Iran. Take a look.
While talks on Tuesday left both sides saying that progress was made, there are still major questions about Iran's willingness to curb their nuclear program or address the growing regional ballistic missile threat. Yesterday on Fox News, Vice President J.D. Vance was asked about the negotiations.
They agreed to meet afterwards, but in other ways it was very clear that the president has set some red lines that the Iranians are not yet willing to actually acknowledge and work through. So we're going to keep on working it, but of course the president reserves the ability to say when he thinks that diplomacy has reached its natural end. We hope we don't get to that point, but if we do, that'll be the president's call.
Now, if there's anyone expressing concern that Iran was unwilling to negotiate about its nuclear program, which doesn't even exist. If there was anyone who told you that Iran didn't want to dilute their enriched uranium, I just want to be very clear. Those people are lying to you because Iran on multiple occasions has made it very clear that they do want to engage in good faith and reach a deal. And if you don't believe me, let's just take a look at the latest example. This is Iran's president.
We have stated these many times. My own statements are not important. What matters from an ideological standpoint is the policy and the fatwa of the supreme leader. We are in no way seeking nuclear weapons. Whatever form of verification they want to carry out, we are ready for that verification to take place.
So the only thing that's off the table for Iran is their ballistic missiles. You want to know why? Because they have a hostile country in the region that has bombed every single one of its neighbors. But Israel has bombed 7 different countries over the last 2 years. So if you don't have any way of defending yourself, I mean, aren't you stupid for giving up your ballistic missiles and essentially opening yourself up to attacks from Israel? And that's what Israel wants.
Facts.
They're not worried about Iran necessarily when it comes to their military capability. Israel wants regime change. That is the whole point. The weapons is just an excuse. That's all it is. That's all it is. It started off with like, oh, we're so afraid of their nuclear.
Bismillahir-Rahmanir Kareem. Abdullah bin Nahim in the Shaitan regime. Okay. Let's we gonna do this today. You know, it's Ramadan, so there's no smoking, there's no Call of Duty. I mean, I slipped up yesterday. In the last Ramadan, I messed up because it was a floodage of female companionship, if you know what I mean, type thing. So I messed up bad, but we gonna get it right this time. I'm in the Shaolin state of mind now, so I can focus on my studies. So I'm doing this now before I get to, the holiday studies. To give you the world report off you already see what's going on. Ain't nothing to be said. Only thing I say about that is for you to bomb someone's nuclear facility, you bomb somebody's nuclear facility, gang. You bombed somebody's nuclear power plant, gang. you almost caused a nuclear catastrophe. There's no, precise this, precise bunker buster. I don't want to hear none of that. You tried to blow up somebody's nuclear power plant. Good luck with that dealing with people, dealing with them folks. All right? Good luck dealing with them folks about that. Let's say if black people had a whole country, something like that, with that capability, you did that. It already popped off. And people, y'all gotta get ready for when it does pop off. It's gonna pop off. You better do some back in what was the can't remember what era of time that was, but they had civil defense stuff for nuclear attack. Better start thinking about that. Because when that siren go off, if you ain't got a hole dug in the earth at least 6 feet and a piece of plastic to cover up that entrance, and enough stuff with you when you go in that hole to hold you off from having to come out that jump for at least 2 or 3 days, hope the air is good enough. It's a wrap. If you own land, if you own your property, whatever, man, build you a bunker. I'm with that. But yeah, I was old school. You look it up. The civil defense videos they used to put out in case of nuclear war and class and what schools would do and fallout shelters. A lot of old buildings, I don't even know if a lot of them old buildings left, but a lot of old buildings back in the day had fallout shelters. And think about that. You see how them folks is running right now. But we gonna bring it. We gonna leave in the national scene. We gonna bring it to back to us out here in the trenches. The trenches is right outside my door. I'm basically not in the trenches because I'm in my own little, my little own little universe right here. But outside, it's the trenches. It's real out there. Now we're about to go here.
Top it and top it with Kraft Parmesan cheese.
There's a Latino that's, want to talk about black and brown relations. And a lot of people want to have these conversations as of late. And I love these conversations, actually.
I didn't mean to do that. I did not mean to do that. I did not mean to do that.
Needs to stop. And we need to be the generation to stop it. Anti-blackness.
Technical glitch.
There's a Latino that's, want to talk about black and brown relations. And a lot of people want to have these conversations as of late. And I love these conversations, actually. Because some of these conversations are productive. Some of them are, people just kind of spinning the wheels a little bit. But let's go and play what this Latina has to say. And let's just have a proper response to it.
The tension between the Black and Latino community needs to stop. And we need to be the generation to stop it. Anti-blackness exists in our community. We know this. Anti-blackness also exists within the Black community itself. All communities of color struggle with this. And the reason why is what we all have in common. We were all colonized and trained to have a mindset of you versus me for survival. But that ends with us. We need to lead with unity and not division. We have to be the change we want to see. We have to stop pointing the finger in both communities and make the decision that we are going to choose to be united versus divided.
So this is why I was saying, I'm cool with just about any group of people that's cool with me. I know people of all communities, and I get along with people of all communities. I take no issue with no group of people. I really don't personally, because I think that's kind of stupid, to be honest with you. And I don't have that kind of time to be beefing with people.
Right.
But you're speaking on an issue, and you're not getting deeper into the issue. Yes, you're 100% right. Black Americans and Latinos and Asians and everybody else had dealt with some form of colonization. Of course, we dealt with slavery. Latin America dealt with slavery as well. You have, of course, some of the Caribbean is Latin American. A lot of us was affected by slavery or colonization one way or another, which is true. And in that effect, what was left behind was, yes, anti-blackness and colorism, in particular in Latin America and also in the Latino community. If you go back to, remember Nuri Martinez, when she was making those comments, she was talking about black folk and the Oaxacans. That's other Latinos she's talking about. So the issue a lot of times is the colorism. And colorism is deep in Latin America. It's very, very deep. If you look at it, you would not even think black people exist in Latin America. We are heavy in Latin America. You don't see black people on TV a lot in a lot of Spanish language TV and movies unless they're the hired help or the villain or things like that, right? They had this indigenous woman, I forgot the lady's name, some years ago from Mexico, and I think she was on the cover of Vogue, and a lot of them was upset. If you remember the actor that played Namor on...
All right, we're going to get into that. We're going to get into that. We're going to get into that, gang. When I first met Spanish people, Latin people, I was a teenager. I'm DC, so we used to hang uptown. And that's where the Spanish people was at. Columbia Road. We had all-night movie theater in Ontario. We all the kung fu movies and stuff, And Colorado Skate Ring was around the corner. I worked for Lee Littlejohn. They were Spanish. I would make that's my movie money, my weekend money. Hang out with my cousin D-Rock, my play cousin D-Rock, and we would work for Mr. Littlejohn, moving furniture and stuff. Like people order stuff, put the furniture on the truck, stuff like that. And we make our little movie money for the whole weekend. I wasn't even smoking weed back then. Yup. So they was beautiful people. And when I was in Job Corps, I read it to Miguel Lopez, God rest his soul, and one of my biker brothers, Chino, God rest his soul too. Spanish people was cool as shit back then. It was love. Back then, the only thing, if you had a Spanish buddy, I ain't saying uptown a lot. Eddie, I know that building. I ain't even gonna be able to get into that building. Y'all know in DC, you know. That building. Y'all know that building. It's some fun times, it's some bad times, but some fun times up there. If you know, you know. So Miguel Lopez and his other cousin Carlos, oh my God. They had one thing back then with Spanish people. I ate with them. Their mama cooked for us. It was just one, they only had one rule. Spanish people. I got to say the 80s. Yeah, I got to say the 80s. I was a teenager. One rule: do not mess with my sister. That was the one rule that I knew of when I was young about Spanish people. Man, don't mess with your friend's sister. Don't mess with their sister. If you got a Spanish buddy, man, don't mess with the sister gang. That was understandable. I didn't realize until I got my ex-wife. We didn't get married, 14 years, that's married. She was Puerto Rican, half Nicaraguan. I met her in my mid-40s. And I had already went through when I got my safety construction license about how they played us on the jobs. They played us out on the jobs. They weren't gonna pay us scale after we went through, as black men in the construction field. We went through all that training and spent money for training and spent money for equipment and tools and shit. And then we can't get on the site because they can underpay them, 3 of them. Because scale pay, what I was doing back then was $21 an hour for flagging. And you had to be certified. And I go on the site, I couldn't get scale pay because they got 3 Migos up there holding signs. That hit me back in the 2000s when I was still working. But I didn't realize that Spanish people was straight racist until I got with Alba. When I found that out, gang, I was like, wait a minute, you people don't want to meet me? No. You can't go over there and see Scott. I'm taking care of you. No. Your brothers ain't came and shook my hand. I met one of them. One of brothers, the youngest one, I watched his little ass grow up. He was 17 when me and I got together. This ass grown ass man. I watched his little ass grow up. No love. He came over, brought album home, stuff like that. But nah. That shit broke my fucking heart when I found out that Spanish people were racist. I can't even describe how crushed I was. But no, all Spanish people ain't racist. Because I got a Mexican partner. All the Mexicans I know got their paperwork straight. So we're gonna shift this. We're gonna shift from the history that I just experienced with the racism thing from them into how come you ain't got your paper straight, gang? How come the illegals ain't got their paperwork straight? And see, that's the whole beef. They said, well, all the Latinos voted for Trump. Damn right they did, because they went through the hell to get their papers straight. They jumped through the hoops, they went through the hurdles, paid this, paid that, showed up, went to court, whatever they did to get their paperwork, they got their paperwork right. So yeah, they voted for Trump and told them, yeah, man, get your illegal people up out of here. My thing is, I don't care if you illegal, you come over here. Just do the right thing and get right, gang. You came over here illegal, okay, look, let me go turn myself in, press my bump, let them know I'm trying to do the right thing to do. Especially if you came over here, you came over illegal and you immediately got a job. The court don't love nothing but someone coming in and say, I got a job. Do you know how many times jobs saved me from jail? Being reckless and stupid. But I had that job. That goes the same thing for the illegals. You got that job, you turn yourself in, man, I got this gig, man. I'm trying to get right so I can keep my job. Get your paperwork straight, gang. My man in Mexico now, chilling like shit. He'll come right back up here when the winter gone, because a lot of y'all Latin American people don't like that winter. So yeah, unless you born in New York, you Latino, you born in New York, you used to that work. But if you just got up here and y'all went to New York and Chicago, let me know how that worked out for y'all. But if you already been up here for years, you're good. You're good. You already know where the work is for the winter time. Get your paperwork straight. And then another thing, look, y'all got this deal. Cause I'm out here. I'm in here. I got the, they got the program now that if you call them for, you download that on your phone, you call them folks, say, look, fill out the little, look, I'm trying to self-deport, man. I'm trying to get it right. They're gonna give you a rack. They're gonna pay for your hotel stay for like they say a week or something. I don't know, depending on your situation, whatever. But I guess for a single Migo male, they're gonna give you a week hotel, wherever you want to go. A plane, any Latin American country, wherever you want to go. Fuck about it here. They'll give you a plane ticket. They're gonna give you a rack and a week accommodation in a hotel somewhere else. Do you know in some black communities in the trenches, that's a come up? That's a come up to us. Oh yeah. Let them play with us. Say, look, man, we want you to move out the hood. We're gonna give you $1,000 in the hotel room to move somewhere the fuck else and start over. Guess what? But for y'all, you got a chance. If you do that, if you take that opportunity and go do that, and stay on your paperwork game, especially if you got the app, you can go through a lot of you probably get a lot of that done through the app as in your starting process. Even as while you be on your plane, you still working on what you need to do to get right. Just go and get right, illegals. Get right. So we good, amigos. We good with the immigration part of the situation. Because so when it covered the international thing, I ain't got nothing against Trump. His foreign policy sucks. I said it. I said it about him last time. Foreign policy, no. You need a black dude to help you with your foreign policy game, because war don't make no money. You know how fly our military is. All that shit costs cake. Okay, so we covered the international. Trump, come on, man. I'm not involved. I don't want to be involved in none of this government shit because of that Gaza thing. I ain't voting. I ain't fucking with none of y'all. State, local, I ain't fucking with none of no establishments of this government, but give me what's mine, what I already work for. And when you start fucking with my motherfucking grip, then yeah, I'm doing some real you're gonna see some protesting. And there's gonna be a whole bunch of old niggas, you mess with our grip. Legions. The niggas about to kick the bucket too. I don't know if y'all want that kind of smoke. Shit. So now we done covered the international junk. We done covered the little immigration, situation. All these matters are important. All these things we need to pay attention to. As black people, we need to have the radar open all the time. I got the radar 24/7, seeing what time it is. Okay. Then we're gonna go over to us black people. It was another shorter one.
This most recent episode of the Corey Holcomb podcast was a disaster.
It feels nice to ask my opinion and to see it come to life.
Hey, trust me, I am not going to be on this bullshit long at all.
This most recent episode of the Corey Holcomb podcast was a disaster. This podcast proved to me and everybody watching, Corey Holcomb is clinically insane. He needs to seek help. He keeps getting more unhinged as the weeks go by. We'll get back to the video shortly, but I want to let you guys know this video is being sponsored by Kalshi. Kalshi is an app where you can make money predicting current events. I put money on what the weather is going to be every day on. Now, I didn't know it was possible, but this podcast has devolved. It has devolved into a podcast where Corey Holcomb comes and he talks about these aluminum helmets, conspiracies, and how he's at war and everybody is out to get him.
I'm at war with major devils. Major devils that are...
Welcome to the club, nigga. Welcome to the club, nigga. You thought you was gonna keep rocking like that and you would... You talking double shit. You brought them to you, but you brought them devils to your front door. Talking that PDF crap. You invited them. You invited that work, gang. You up there talking about chicks you rolling with and they daughters and shit. What you brought that evil to your front door, gang. Now deal with it. So that's gonna drag me right into this jump. What's wrong with y'all sisters bringing any niggas around y'all kids? You bring a nigga around your kids, he gotta be him. I remember back in the days when I was dating honeys that had kids, there was a lot of honeys you wasn't seeing their kids. Even nigga, you had to have your own crib or y'all got a hotel room or something. She wasn't bringing you around her fucking family. Some of the honeys I was, had like that, they was in deep Vietnam type hoods. And you jive had to be really out there to go down there and deal with them down there anyway. Why, you're Corey Holcomb, why is you over some chick's house? Nigga, you got enough cake, you could have got the baby. She live in the hood. Somebody gonna babysit them kids. She not gonna let that lick go. Corey Holcomb, why is you over these chicks' houses? Because you on that. You really on that, gang. Look, I ain't nowhere near balling like you is. Man, I got babysitter money, shorty, and I got this hotel room money when we come back to my jump, and I got a couple lift cars to get you back to where you got to get to that decent. No, nigga. I ain't no lay in the bed ass all day nigga anyway. I spend the night with a shorty, man, crack of dawn, I'm gone. You should have had your ass out the bed a long time ago for kids even got to even rambunctious. Nigga, what's wrong with you? No, nigga. And even and we all from the hood. At the worst is worse. Nigga, you don't get over there until the kids are asleep anyway. By the time I show up, they all knocked out. Shout out to Cookie. When I came home. Even if you did get over there before the kids, nigga, you wake that shit out, nigga. I'll wait for the kids to go sleep, nigga. Yeah. And then start kicking it. Send people something to eat. I went outside, smoked a couple of J's, whoop-de-whoop. She can make it play my, and if they want to play with me, I'll play with them. Yeah, okay. First of all, you put nobody's child on your lap. You don't touch nobody's child. I kissed Scott on her forehead from she was on top of her head. I didn't answer that the same way. I kissed some girls on top of their head until their ass was grown. You don't pick up nobody else's child, hold nobody's daughter. You pick up nobody's child. I hold somebody's child, they love me. Their parents love me. That's why when you see me, like on my Facebook, you see me holding babies and stuff, because them people, babies who gave me their babies, they love me. And they know I'll throw myself in front of a train before I let something happen to a child. I'm letting them stop bringing the licks home. What you gonna bring? Why y'all bringing these? And even if okay, I wouldn't go in the show as a female. Why would you even want to show your kids that you got this famous dude? He's not gonna be there all the time. You bring a nigga home around your kids, and you know that nigga's gonna be him. He's him. He's gonna be around. So you gotta get used to him. So I blame 30% of that on the woman's fault, bad judgment. And I blame the rest of this on this PDF wannabe activity gang. Why is you young? Even if you felt that way, even if you saw it, and there's a lot of women I've had daughters been looked like that. Nigga, when you even feel that sensation, it's time for you to leave, nigga. If you feel yourself peeping, look at, oh man, let me get up out of here, man. Little shorty looking too let me get up out of here. The fuck is wrong with you? And it look like you look like you on that PDF because you pick honeys out that's in that situation. And by you having money, you could easily work around a chick with kids. You got money. That can be easily done. Easily dealt with. You waking up in somebody's bed and their child crawl up in the bed. Are you crazy, nigga? Some hoods wouldn't allow them. You wouldn't have. What? Little kid went on saying, yeah, I just laid it random in the bed with Corey. The reason they with mommy now, them niggas would have got to dealt with you outside. So this. Cause I ain't gonna throw all this on the YNs. We gonna move along off my man here. Let's get up off here. Man, get you some help, gang. You gotta fight. Yeah, they gonna make you one of them now. They know you like little kids. They about to bring you into the club. Stop fool out.
Innovation.
Let me go there. I got a show. There we go. You had a show. Let me see. I wanted to get to like, cause see.
listening to you for a minute, man. I'm fucking with you, bruh. Like, they be big mad. One of my first girlfriends is African. She's African.
Hey, black man. Stop selling that motherfucking poison, gang. I ain't keep saying black man too, because there's some sisters out here pushing that work too. Leave that dirty work alone. That shit comes with a curse. Leave the dirty work alone. Leave that shit alone. The karma that shit brings, you'll never be right. That shit is the devil's work. That's black magic. That's voodoo. And as black folks, you haven't seen the damage that this shit has done to our community over the decades. You got work out here now that if you handle that shit wrong, you are a dead man or lady. Leave that shit alone, gang. Man, the weed laws are so sweet right now, it don't make no sense for nobody to be pushing no poison, selling somebody something that's gonna destroy their life. No, gang. Not worth it. Not worth it. You took somebody's money. They probably ain't fed they folks or whatever the case may be. You took somebody's money to go do some dumb shit with me and sold some poison. Yeah, that shit is gonna come back to bite you. Trust me. I've been around the block with all this great shit. Tell you what I was doing time. You do it. We're gonna do a Hassan Campbell style. A jail story. So I was a dude named Dion. He's on details myself. That's when I got a little detail. I did enough times when we got on the detail block. This nigga told me he was getting it. Oh yeah. Getting it. And I was like, okay, you tell me all that. So I finally got out. I ran into Dion in the streets. Years. I'm like in my bike career. I'm in my biker thing now. I left the street. I left that work shit alone and got on that bicycle. That mountain bike shit. That courier shit. Shout out to the Washington DC bike messengers. Yeah. So I had told you he was still getting it. I don't know I forgot what he was at. I think it was a Jag. It was a green Jag. I pulled up on. He pulled up on me. So we changed numbers. I hit Dion back one time. I said, "What's up, Dion? What you know?" He said, "Man, I don't fuck around no more." I was like, "What?" He said, "Yeah, man, I had to walk away from that shit, man. That shit ain't right no more." I said, what do you mean? He said, "Man, I got back out. I had money put away. I started back up doing it." He said, "Man," he said he went to go. He was going to either go pick up some bricks or he was going to drop off some bricks. He was selling some bricks or he was picking up something. So what had happened? Bama niggas tried to rob somebody that tried to hit him over in the hallway. And I already knew when he was in there, I already knew he was on anyway. Short, those little short dark skinned motherfuckers. The motherfuckers are vicious. Said he tried to get him. But he said, what? That he was going to get him. He had money on him. Yeah, he was going to get him. So he blasted them folks. He blasted them folks. He said he went away. He said went back. He said he beat it. He went to court for with a whoop-de-whoop. He beat it. He said after that, He said, Trey Monster, that's what they call me. He said, Trey Monster, man, I got rid of all that shit. He said, I had some other shit. I was just, stockpiling this, man. I got rid of all that shit. Nigga, I went and bought me a backhoe and a motherfucking dump truck. And I went and hired 2 niggas and got me a little honey that's doing that shit. And man, I ain't never looked back. He said, man, that shit, he said, when he had to do that shit, he said, it was the worst thing. He said, he ain't never had to do that shit out of the whole time he been hustling. Never had to blast nobody. I think he blasted a nigga dog one time, but that's another story. But he really ain't never had to blast nobody. He really never whooped nobody while he was in the game, just that and the other. And something crack, you got to whip somebody's ass, and you might have to blast somebody. Everybody know that. That come with it. So he said, when I got a taste of that, he said, I'm good. Good. Stop selling that motherfucking poison, gang. Find something else. Struggle. I'd rather struggle than mess somebody else up. Mess somebody else's life up. I'd rather struggle. I'd rather be poor. I'd rather collect scrap metal every day. I'm not doing that. No, I'm not going to hurt nobody because I'm fucked up. Find something else, YNs. Find something else, young ladies. Stop selling poison to people you know. Stop meeting people selling poison. And the worst thing you do is get somebody on some fucking poison. Let that shit go. So yeah, this is my little, The Report. My new series, I got to make the report on what was going on out here, what need to be going on. And as I progress, I will reveal other technologies and science and math that I've been keeping under the table. So yeah, come back with me, check me out again. I'm not gonna just do this on Ramadan because I can't play no music, can't play video game. I'm gonna keep this going. So get back with me, your man DjGps The Report.